Welcome back to the Future Leaders podcast, where we help you gain insights into the minds of successful business owners. Today, I'm joined here with a leadership mindset coach, the founder of the Inspired Life Message, Lewis Huckstep. Lewis Huckstep, thanks so much for joining us.
Lads, thanks for having me. I seem to underdress for you guys. You guys are like suited up and I'm in like shorts and a shirt. So
That's all right.
pleasure to be here, lads. I honestly been watching your content and it's cool to see that the movement you're putting together, because a lot of people, I didn't have it when I started my journey. So keen to connect and see where this goes.
Sweet. Tell us more about the Inspired Life Message. How did that come to be and
Where to start? So I started when I was 18 on the self-development path, went to Tony Robbins, did all the self-help stuff. And even before then, I just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was very much conditioned from childhood to be successful. You have to go to uni, get a high-paying job and follow the traditional path. But it just didn't feel right to me. Got into business, went hard with business, burnt myself out, became the overachiever. Very much I have to achieve to be worthy for dad and for mum and for the world. Burnt myself out, hit a breaking point. I gave a gym away. I owned 3 gyms when I was 22, gave one away, went through COVID with 2 gyms. That was fucking sick. that was fun. Literally had to fire 90% of my team in one day. And I loved my team. I cried firing them. I felt so shit doing that. And got through that sort of chaotic period. Then I sold another one. Then I had 1 gym and I had to hide myself out of the gym. So I had about $2,000 to $3,000 of revenue, profit, coming in. And I had for an hour of work. So I had more time and space to like think and to digest the last 7 years of just like hustle. And man, I love self-development. So I got into DeMartini, I got into Tony Robbins, NLP, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, breath work, plant medicines, spirituality. And it's like, what does a meaningful life look like to me? And we're joking before we clicked record. I'm kind of like Alex Hormozi with the Buddha put together, where I've got that hustle side where it's like, let's take action, like fuck your mood, follow the plan from Layla Hormozi. But I've also learnt the other side where don't become so broke all you have is money, where it's like achieve, but you're empty on the inside, because I went through that. So essentially I pieced all those things together. It's like, how do you know who you are, which is for me, first pillar of the Inspired Life method is purpose. What's your life's purpose, your values and your mission and vision from your values and purpose. Because a lot of people set a goal that isn't their goal. It's mum or dad's or society's goal that I have to be worthy to do it. Then second pillar is inner work. That's trauma, limitations and emotional blocks. So limiting beliefs, that you've probably heard of. And because those things sabotage you from doing the things you want to do. It's why you don't post the video, you don't start the podcast, you don't set boundaries, whatever the thing is. And then the third pillar is strategies. That's where, again, we don't just meditate all day and manifest our dreams. We take action as well. So that's where we have a plan, we break down the plan, and we get all the skills needed to actually bring the vision to life. That's kind of, in a nutshell, what we do.
epic?
That's really cool. So what are your goals then that are aligned to your mission and vision?
Great question. So in order, I do values first. So values are areas of life that fulfill you. Some people think values are things like honesty, loyalty, integrity, control. For me, those are not values. They're traits and behaviors that people perceive that society says you have to do, or you're a piece of shit, essentially. So they're projections of what you should have to do or to do. So values are things like, if you can't fill your calendar with it, it's not a value. If I said, go fill your calendar with freedom, go do freedom. Sounds fucking weird, doesn't it? But people, I value freedom. Well, what does that look like? I do this little exercise with my clients. If I transfer you, gents and ladies, and the dog, $1 billion right now, I don't have that much money, but say I did that, and you had $1 billion tax-free, would you spend the rest of your life watching Netflix and doing nothing else?
No, you just...
No. Everyone would say no. I've never had... Some people joke and say yes, and that when you actually ask them, they wouldn't do that. Yeah. I said, well, I thought you just wanted freedom. I said, what would you do? Your answers would be your values. If you value travel, you go travel the world. If you value business, which I think you lads do, you do more business. You get more, you'd probably get more coaches. You probably value learning from what I've gathered. So you probably sign up to a mentor, probably go see Alex Hormozi. You'd go do your values. So for me, values are first, because we use your values to create your vision. So my highest value is coaching. So I've got a vision to coach people. So I want to coach 10 million people to live a fulfilled life, an inspired life, hence the name of the method. That's one part of it. I want to be a father. So wife is due in March next year. So I've got to thank you, man. I'm very excited, nervous, but excited to go down that path. Man, big rabbit hole if you want to jump down that rabbit hole later. So I've got a vision around being a father and raising a family in a way that I want to. Other values are relationships, as I mentioned, business. So I want to build an equitable business, a beautiful business with beautiful team members, with beautiful impact. Learning, I love learning. So I'm constantly doing podcasts, just listen to one on the way up here. Love learning, love reading books, love consuming things in areas of life that are meaningful to me. They're some of my goals. But yeah, that's essentially the way we do it. We do values first, then we use your values to create your vision. Because I used to have on my vision board a fucking Lamborghini and Ferrari and la 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 la. But it's like that was what I thought I had to have to be successful. But it's like I drive a $10,000 car. It's like I could easily afford a new one, but it's like I don't care. I don't value that enough. But I'd rather spend 30, 50 grand on a mastermind because I love to learn that stuff. So yeah, values for vision board, and then we use your purpose to create your mission, which is the big hairy goal that you want to go chase for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, we got a framework that we recently shared at our most recent summit.
Please share. So I love frameworks.
It's basically taking the freedom, the fallacy, the thing you're always going to be chasing,
cool.
and it breaks it down into three key steps:
cool.
Protect, provide, lead.
Love it.
Because everything that people say, chase the followers, chase the cars, get all the fancy houses, everything. But that's just what sits on top of the iceberg.
Yep.
It's just everything on the surface that doesn't really mean anything. And the foundations come down to who you can protect, how you protect them, who you can provide for, how you go about providing for them. And that could be your family, the community, the future.
Love it.
Everything. And then finally, like lead. How do you empower, inspire others, lead them into the future?
I love it.
Because everything comes down to the people that are in your life and how you can leave an impact on their life.
Yep. I would challenge with, depending on your values, because whenever you hear the words you have to, ought to, got to, should, must, supposed to, someone's projecting, or something, which could be religion or society, is projecting their values or beliefs onto someone else.
Okay.
Because there'll be someone who never wants family. So is that right or wrong? Depends who you're talking to. If I said you have to do this, you should do this, you got to do this, you must do this, and you're like, according to who? According to me, because I'm saying it. Or maybe I'm listening to an outer authority like religion or society. You have to go to school, have to go to uni, you should do this, you must be a doctor. According to who? Whoever's saying that thing. I like the principles you're saying though. I totally agree to that.
Yeah.
It's just that last part, it was a bit of like projection of this is like the way to do it versus like who is the individual? Like what's fulfilling to you will be aligned because you guys are mates and buddies from what I can tell. Yeah. So you have alignment with some things, but there'll be some things you're completely different against. It's just all good. So I love the model. But yeah, just maybe a smidge of that of if that's true for the individual, fucking love it. Love it.
The NLP coming out of it.
Oh yeah, I've got NLP, so I'm a very mental and emotional person, so I've done NLP a few times. So yeah, you'll notice my mind will do the chunking and all that stuff. So
speaking about your mind, you're open about being neurodiverse and basically help people do so.
Yep.
Talk through how you build the confidence and how you inspire others to embrace it, opposed to where society will just try and ostracize it.
Love it, man. Labels and limitations. That's one of my biggest passions. So I got diagnosed with Asperger's, autism, ADHD, and anxiety. And it's a sweet spot, which I don't know how to do correctly, but how do you categorize something without labeling and limiting the same thing? Because whatever you believe, you make true. You reinforce it, you find evidence to reaffirm it, and you biochemically become the belief as well. Every thought you have, you will release a chemical signature equal to it. Your thoughts make you healthy, your thoughts make you sick. Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you've heard of him, he's phenomenal. So, okay, I've got this label, I'm autistic. That means you're bad at communicating, you're bad at socializing, you're bad at learning, you've got all these things. And there's truth to it, like I think a little bit differently. So like I'm even caught myself saying the label. I've struggled in the past in social settings. Like I felt super uncomfortable. I would sit there and it's like in group settings, say there was like 5 of us here and you guys were all talking, I'd feel super uncomfortable. I'd be like, how do I chime in? How do I like be involved? When do I ask the right question? Should I just sit back? And then I'm like, this is shit, I'm going home. Like that would be my pattern. So there's truth to the traits of it and that's the patterns I have. But how do you not get limited by the label of it? Yeah. So that's something I'm passionate about. It's like, I don't believe certain things like you have anxiety. It's a pattern you have from conditioning, which is beliefs and perceptions. We can address that and the anxiety goes away. So it took me a while to figure that out. So that was, I started the journey when I was 18, went to Tony Robbins. I started with YouTube and just like binged on YouTube for ages. There was no podcast back then, or maybe not that I was aware of. And went to UPW, which is, you guys know Tony, Tony Robbins. He does his UPW event, we do the fire walk. Have you guys seen that before?
Yeah.
It's fucking epic. So fun. So you make a move, say yes, and you walk across this. And he does a limiting belief process. It's called his Dickens process. So you find a limitation. I think it was that something's wrong with me. I think it was a belief that I did. I'm not good with the relationships. I'm not good with money or something like that. So that was kind of the catalyst to self-development for me. And you can't be held accountable to something you're not aware of. And that's where I was just doing the best of what I had based on my conditioning, based on what I was labeled with, based on just who I was at the time. But then when you're gifted with awareness, then you can actually do something with it. That didn't happen until I was like 18. So that started the journey, started with Tony. I joke and say Tony's the gateway drug to self-development because he gets so many people into it. And then there's other sort of branches you can get into, like spirituality and stuff like that. So yeah, it limited me until I was aware that I didn't have to subscribe to the fullness of the label. That's where like NLP came into it. DeMartini, if you've done any of his work, came into it. And that's where you can literally reprogram your mind. I was on a podcast probably 2 years ago. It's called the Overperformer podcast, which is a good fit for me because like the high achiever, hustler person. And I met the gentleman, I forget his name off the top of my head. And we're talking, we have a chat, and we sit down. It's like, oh, so he didn't really know my story too much. He's like, oh, tell me about your story. And I was like, oh, I got diagnosed with this, and this. He's like, mate, I would never have been able to tell that about you. It's like, because I fucking worked on it. Because I didn't let the label limit me forever until I became aware you could like recondition it. So it held me back for a long time until I had the awareness and tools to actually go past it.
So would you urge people to become diagnosed, like basically get the test done to do so? Genuinely, because everyone's like, oh, I'm undiagnosed ADHD. Like you may or may not, but it's just that you're embodying certain traits and you're basically identifying yourself to that
No one's asked me that question. Would I recommend someone to go get tested? Is that the question? If it would serve you, yes. So it's like, I kind of say this with like religion. Like I'm not a subscriber to religion as a whole, but if religion helps your life improve, yes, go do it. And like because I have heard of seen pieces of content where people got tested and got diagnosed and it made them feel relieved and they felt happy about it. So if that helped you, but if it then limits you, no, then it's like, again, how do you have that sweet spot of validating the behaviors of a label without being limited by the label? So as long as they can find that happy sweet spot, by all means go for it if it's going to help you. But I'll be asking why do you want it?
Because I've embodied those traits like forever. I'm pretty sure I've got both.
I can see it in you guys. We think of it differently.
It's like
autism knows autism.
Yeah.
You can feel
like it is what it is, but I don't want to be identified by that label. Like what benefit does it get me to say, oh, it's like $6,000 or something just to like
to get tested.
It's like $5,000 to do the.
You've looked into it. I haven't looked into it.
Like the autism and
sick.
autism and what's the ADD
ADHD
test?
Yeah.
I
got tested when I was like 5. So I went to I can't remember this, but supposedly on Norfolk Island, where I grew up. So Norfolk Island, tiny island, it's between Australia and New Zealand. You can't see it on a map. You've got to zoom in on it. I think the population's like less than 2,000 people. Like my grade was like 20 people. That's a whole grade on school. I can't remember this memory, but my first day of kindergarten or prep school, whatever they call it over there, apparently the school called my mum and said, come get your son. And apparently she drove down and she walked in and I'm pulling the teacher's hair out, screaming. Because I just didn't understand people. I didn't understand like how to communicate, and I don't have the memory of it, but I'm assuming I just would have freaked out because there would have been like so many people, social norms, not knowing how to communicate, emotionally dysregulated, and I just would have freaked the fuck out. And then they flew me to Australia to get tested. So I'm 28 now, so it's like 23 years ago. So to answer your question, maybe. Just why would it serve you? I like this. Every disability has a heightened ability. So I struggle, a perfect example. I struggle with humor. So people will like laugh their ass out at something and I'm like processing, where's it coming from? So I'm like, so I was playing, have you guys played Monopoly Deal, the card game? Yeah. So good, hey. Do you guys play? We play a game after. Whip out the cards. So we're playing this game. It's me, my brother, my sister, and my brother's best mate, his name's Mitch, and he's like family friend, we've known him for years. And we're playing the game and he just says this really self-depreciating joke. Like takes the piss out of himself. I'm like this fat, stupid, ugly dude. Like he made a joke about himself and everyone started laughing. And my autistic mind was like analyzing him. I'm like, out of like mid-game, I said, mate, do you realize you bring yourself down to connect with others? And he's like shook me. He's like, well, now that you mention it, yeah. He's like, I didn't see that till just then. So I struggle with social norms in some situations, but it makes me very good in other things. Now, sometimes I'm a shit joke to like my wife will come over and show me this funny video. I'm like, that's not funny. I just don't, I don't understand it. I don't get it. So every disability has a heightened ability. Like you'll notice I'm going all over the shop. ADHD, I just like go everywhere. So when I'm coaching people, I've learned to regulate and stay present with my clients. They'll say something. I can hear the trait or the trauma underneath their sentence. I've already bookmarked it. I already know the next 5 questions we're going to ask, but I'm going to stay present with my client. So every disability has a heightened ability somewhere else. So if you get the label that limits you, why the fuck would you do it? Just find what are you great at? What are you not so great at? How do you put things in place to benefit that? So for me, structure. I like structure. So therefore I struggle without structure though. That's why we're getting ready for kids. I'm like, biggest nervousness for me, for a kid, is the lack of structure. It's just chaos. And it's just being okay with the chaos. So I'm excited for the growth that's on its way. But like I'm super planned out. So I have a plan, I have a calendar, I have reminders, like that helps me with my downsides is having structure in place. So yeah, kind of long-winded answer, but I hope that answers your question.
That's cool. So
what's like the biggest label that you've had to overcome? Is it that ADHD, or is it something else?
I don't know if it's intuitively what came up was no to ADHD. I think it was just there's something wrong with you. I think that was the overall, and that kind of from all of them, like Asperger's is probably the biggest one that if I had to pick out of the 4 that I've got that I had labeled, it'd probably be that one. But underneath it, the belief that I took on, the identity I took on, is there's something wrong with me. So, and therefore I would not fit in, and whatever you believe, you make it true. And it's like that whole cascade of shit. So that's probably the biggest one. But if I had to pick out those 4, it'd probably be Asperger's. Because I'm like socially weird, didn't understand people, struggled to learn, struggled to comprehend. Yeah, probably that one if I had to pick.
So what was that time like for you when you were, let's go back to your early life. How did you get through that? Like how painful was that, and how did you get to a stage where you can live with it, and not only live with it but make it your biggest strength?
I haven't thought in that question. I spent a lot of time alone. I think maybe a benefit of Norfolk Island is there's not many people there, so I spent a lot of time by myself. I was a big nerd and gamer, like Pokemon. Absolute like fiend for Pokemon when I was as a kid. So like on Norfolk, there's like very little technology. It's very like there's not a single set of lights over there. There's not a single fast food place, which is good for lack of like shit food. But like getting a Game Boy over there was like fucking like discovering fire. So I remember when I got that, I like craved off that. But I spent a lot of time by myself. So that again is a trait of someone who's autistic. They're generally a bit of a loner and they don't spend much time with people. What was the question? I don't know if I addressed it. What was your question?
I just want to know what that early time was like for you, and how did you build up the strength to understand not only what it was, but then turn it into your one of your greatest strengths.
What the downsides of it, now that I can hear that, is I struggled with connecting and feeling connected and feeling just making friends with people. It's kind of the answer of like, how did I get better at it? Trial by fire, to be real with you, like exposure therapy. So I went to 6 different schools. So that just made things so much better. I cried on my first day at school at every school until high school, until the last school. So I went to Norfolk Island. I went to New Zealand. So we went to school in New Zealand. Went to Townsville because we moved up to Townsville a little bit. That sucked. Then we went to Marymount on the Gold Coast for primary school, in Burleigh. So I lied, 5 schools. And then I went to PBC for my last school, and I almost cried on my first day there. But I was like breaking up, like, your first day of high school, you gotta fucking get your shit together. So honestly, exposure therapy. My dad has told me some stories that I can't remember these, but he's told me stories of it. Because when I got diagnosed, like they wanted to like medicate and get on the medications, and Dad opted not to, which I'm grateful for in hindsight. Obviously, wouldn't even know back then. But he remember from what he told me, he used to like walk me because he wanted to get me out of my because a trait of autistic. The best analogy I've got is Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. Did you watch that show? It's like his character has Asperger's, so like his spot on the couch has to have everything structured. My mum told me that if I didn't have my Weet-Bix the right direction in the bowl, I wouldn't eat it. Like, I was just like, weird. So again, I can't remember a lot of this stuff. Dad said he used to walk me up and down the football field for rugby league to get me into it, just to get me comfortable with like literally getting, like, I just need to like my hand held a little bit to like do it. And once I do it, I'm in. So it's kind of like that fixation of ADHD when it's like, when you do lock in, you fucking lock in. So I think, to be honest, just exposure therapy got me through it. And yeah.
So how is that now turned into your greatest strength? Like being able to lock in like that is obviously probably really important for business and your success, right? But how have you, like, what would you attribute to your success that you've achieved right now? So,
I would say knowing like values in hindsight now. Like I was on a podcast for autism. It was like an autism awareness podcast, which I felt really fun going on. It was like she was I'm forgetting her name as well. I need to get better names. she is like a doctor for kids with autism and helps the parents like parent their kids. It's really nice. I can connect you guys if that resonates with you guys.
Is that Heather?
She's in Sydney. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Sorry if I'm getting names wrong. I'll find her after on Instagram. She asked me essentially the question, what would you recommend to parents for kids? And it was kind of like advice you'd give to your younger self is know how to emotionally fucking regulate. That was huge because I was very dysregulated as a kid because I was overstimulated a lot, like very overstimulated. So learn how to emotionally regulate through breath work, grounding, havening, soothing. There's many ways you can do that. Know your values, know essentially what are your gifts and dial in on that. Like yes, there are like some things to widen your scope to fit into society in a healthy way, but know your gifts and double down on that. Like for me, sports was like, I dialed in on that, like got really locked into that. Business did the same thing. Again, I think I've missed your question. What was your question? I keep sort of going off on a tangent.
just really how, like what is the biggest skill or I want to say skill, but I don't know if that's the right word, but the biggest thing that you'd attribute to your success.
Yeah. Like what's your superpower?
What's my superpower? Your values are your superpowers. So I'd come back to that. So what are your values? So coaching is my highest value. Relationships is my second. And values come from your voids. What was painful or a void for you becomes meaningful to you. So I had a void around money. So we lacked money growing up. Mum and dad fought over money. So money's important to me. If you had a void around image. So you guys dress really well. So I'm assuming there's a void. There was a value somewhere around image or appearance. Or you might have a different way you'd categorize that. But what was painful becomes important and you want to live it out. Like I'm sort of generalizing this part. Men, masculine, will generally have more voids around money and success and they need to provide. Women generally around age and beauty. So they want to be beautiful and look good.
Does it always have to be painful? Or can it be like a
perceived void? So great question. So not everyone picks up on that. So it can be painful or a perceived void. So like for example, someone what's a good example? There's someone who did a little bit of travel, but they saw all the movies of all the destinations around the world and they want to travel to those. So they did some, but they didn't do the ones they wanted to. So there was a gap there. So it's a perceived void. So yes, well picked up on. So for me, coaching was my biggest one. And I've categorized it as coaching because when I say no one, I didn't have it the way that I wanted it. No one told me how to regulate. No one told me how to fucking communicate. No one told me how to learn properly. No one told me and gave me the guidance of how do I navigate life. So now I do that for others. You become who you needed when you're at your lowest. That's what purpose is. And we can talk about that as well. Know your values, live to them. Know your purpose, live in alignment with them. What's my superpower? I love this quote. When what you do is the greatest expression of who you are, you do your life's best work. So know your values, know your purpose, and just express that to whatever degree you can. Obviously, there's the skills of how do we then turn this into a business or a service or like this sort of tactics and shit around that. I would say just be myself. Like when I'm like, I run events now. So I started running events this year and they're super fun. And it's like the first one, I'm like scared, like a bit nervous, like fuck. I joke every time now. I've got like a mate, Mason, and he will like kind of be my mic runner. Like I'll be in the room and people queuing out the front. I'm like, I'll joke to him like, did anyone show up? Like, is anyone going to come to the event? Do that every time. But my first couple of events, I was like, sort of like holding myself back because I was like, again, sort of like edging my way into it. But like the last one, like I was super weird. I'm just like, welcome fuckers. Thanks for coming. So I was just like, the more I'm learning to embrace my uniqueness, which is what your gift is, the more people love me. And the more people are like, oh my God, there's just something about you. Because this is a little bit deep, but really cool. Your greatest clients, your raving fans, the clients that love you the most in business, have the most amount of alignment with your core wounds. And that has to drop in for a little bit. So what was most painful for you, they will have alignment with that. Because they will see the healed expression of them within you. Interesting. That's a mouthful. I can repeat it if you need me to.
No, it makes sense.
So, for example, I had a wound around being misunderstood. That was a wound for me. That was a trigger for me. So, a lot of my clients have the wound of being misunderstood. A lot of autistic people have it too. So, you're like, oh, I think differently. I don't understand things. I feel like I don't fit in. I feel like I'm misunderstood. Oh. So, your core wounds, mine is hurt, misunderstood, and rejected. So hurt dad, punched holes in walls, abusive and all that stuff. Rejected from friends and people can really make friends, and misunderstood, there's something wrong with me. So if you have a wound around hurt or abuse, being misunderstood or rejected, you probably like me. So, and then they're my greatest clients. My clients that love me have very similar core wounds to me.
You know how much every single time you're saying something, I'm trying to not make this about me, but like every time you say something, I've got like, oh, that was me.
Yep,
That's me.
And there'll probably be parts of it where you can see parts of you within me.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's something about this guy I like. That's how it works.
Yeah, because that's something that I found particularly with the summits that we ran. Obviously, the way we become more comfortable as well.
Yeah.
We were trying to embody what a successful person should look like, and basically all about this.
Yeah.
This last summit, I did a Yoda voice.
Love it.
I was
good.
like,
Yeah,
let's just learn you how."
perfect. That's it. That's it.
It's like, it's all about, because if people don't like it,
Yeah.
I just have the belief now, I'm like, if they don't like it or what I'm doing, they're more than welcome to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not holding them in that room.
Yeah.
But those that do resonate, because now the best responses, the best feedback we get
Yeah.
is basically saying, I love your authenticity.
Yeah, perfect.
There's just
Well
no
said.
authenticity in this world, particularly for people our age. It's just trying to make out who you are, telling the real struggles of life instead of it just being about the glorified I still probably only show 5-10% of my life online.
Awesome.
But it's all about when I'm having conversations with people, just...
Can I ask you a vulnerable question?
Okay.
You asked it. He's like, "Fuck." No, I do this for a living too. Okay, so
That's why I wanted to...
I'll ask you too.
overanalyzed it. Now I'm like, uh-oh.
fuck, you're fine. So I'll get a bit of a teaching, so I'll take the ease off here. So self-growth or healing is learning to love all parts of who you are.
Okay.
So when a baby is born, what parts of a baby is worthy of love?
All of it?
Good answer. Everyone's like, did I say the wrong one? Correct. All parts are worthy. We all intuitively know that answer. But then we go through our pain or trauma or conditioning, and we learn that some parts of us are not lovable or are bad. So then we try to hide it from people. And the beautiful part of you guys speaking on stage, one of the greatest mirrors to your shit is speaking on stage. Because you have people seeing you and seeing all parts to you. So what you said was perfect. So this will help you do some self-growth. So intuitively answer the question. Don't judge your answer for it. What are you most, in a one-word answer, what are you most scared to be seen as? And what was the first one that came up? Answer that one.
The words not coming to me at the moment, but it's because I thought about this. This is like my greatest fear is it's like to be the joke, or it's embarrassment.
Cool. Awesome. So what would you do to be embarrassed? The most embarrassing thing that you could do.
I don't know what to say. I don't know if I want to do it. It would revolve around like doing something silly on stage.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So there would have been a point in your life, past hurt, future fear.
Yeah.
So that you were silly and go, Pete, to be fucking silly, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh my God, this is bad. I can't love this part of me. So I'm going to hide it. And then I'm going to present the persona, which is what you were saying before. People in our sort of young 20s, we need to show the world how we're meant to be successful, which is a persona, a mask. And then we hide the parts of us that are bad, which is our shadows. If you've heard of shadow work, this is shadow work. So it's learning how do you, my invitation, when's your next event?
February 20th.
Encourage for your own personal growth. See how you can be more silly. And it'll be edgy. Oh my God, how can I be silly? Oh my God, I'm going to get judged and all your shit comes up. That's growth. What's your answer?
Mine would be greedy. That was the first.
Gritty?
Greedy.
Oh, greedy. Okay, cool. You may have blocks around money for that.
Yeah.
That can show it as a money block. It's a very common money block. Greed is bad. If I make money, I'll be greedy. So you'll have these unconscious sabotaging patterns that stop me from making money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what would you do to be greedy?
It would be...
Do you guys charge for your event?
No, they're free.
Why not?
We want to give back.
Do you sell something at the event?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you sell?
So we have a product that we're launching on Saturday.
Cool. Is it secret? Do you need to keep it hush hush for now?
No.
What is it?
So we are... I'm still deep in the greedy. Go.
It's good.
I'm like too close.
A good lesson as well. The ego is our human identity, and it's not. Some people think ego is bad. Ego's not bad. Someone's saying that's your ego. The person saying that's their fucking ego. Ego's not bad. Ego is human identity. Your beliefs, the way you view the world, your unconscious, conscious mind, all of that is your human identity. The coding on this computer, this phone, the coding or conditioning is our ego. So our coding is our ego. One of the common traits of the ego is deflection. You just deflected that. You're like, oh, fuck, over to you. I don't want to talk about this. So just sit with it, which is all good. But we get it. I'm a coach, so I go down the coaching rabbit hole. But invitation for both you guys and for listeners as well. Whatever you're scared to be seen as, start to show that part of you. Remember, healing is learning to love all parts of who you are. And then when you learn to love that part of you, then you'll show it. And that's the part that your clients actually want to see from you. They want to see the silliness. They want to see you being a greedy dick for a bit of fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's like processing right now. He's like, where's this come from?
That doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
Well, I'm still trying to process it.
Yeah. So do you perceive greedy to be bad?
Well, there's levels to it.
Yeah.
You can have...
Yes or no? Is greedy bad?
I wouldn't, not necessarily.
Okay, good. That's a more neutral answer.
Greed isn't necessarily bad.
Okay, that's good. That's a more neutral answer. So there's no such thing as a bad trait, behavior, event, or person. Only lopsided perceptions created by human polarization. So I think Shakespeare, that was John DeMartini, that's what he said. He said all events are neutral until a human filters it into polarization. So life is not good nor bad, thinking just makes it so. But then we go through our conditioning and pain and trauma, and we learn that some things are bad, and then we can't show those parts of us to the world. So you've had pain around being silly before, so I can't be silly in front of people, or being silly is a bad thing. I have to be professional. Make sense? What's the opposite of silly in one word?
Professional.
Cool. So that's the mask that you try to show the world, and I don't want to be seen as silly.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Does it resonate for you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
This is shadow work 101. So what you want to be seen as is the mask, the persona. The opposite, so whatever you pedestal, you'll pit the opposite. Whatever you pit, you'll pedestal the opposite. And again, it's learning to love all those parts of who you are. Yeah. And then you embrace them. And then there's a time to be silly, and there's a time to be professional. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I'm still processing, but my greatest fear is the fear of success, and I know that.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm worried it's going to change who I am right now, because I love who I am, how generous I am, and that's what I would say is the opposite of greed is generosity. Yep. And because generosity is a massive part of who I am.
Yep. You want to be seen as generous?
Yeah. Yep. I want to be seen as a generous person.
Yep.
I do understand, like, for greed, you do need to be greedy. Like, is it more greedy for me to not be able to collect money to leave a bigger difference on other people? That's more greedy because I'm not able to make a greater difference on others.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, that's why I said it's not necessarily good nor bad. It's just finding.
If you have emotion, this quote's phenomenal. To the degree you resist reality is the degree that you suffer. What that means, where you have, I like watching your eyes go. I do the same thing. So wherever you, outside of real survival. So we've got fight or flight. So a tiger rolls into this podcast right now. We're all freaking out. We're all going to fight, flight, or freeze. Okay. So that's resistance. Peter Crone, phenomenal. He has some epic quotes. He says, if it's not life threatening, it's just ego threatening. So remember, ego is our human identity. Yeah. Banger quote. Love that one. Yeah. So if a tiger is not here, if you're not actually in survival, any resistance, judgment, projection, negative energy, negative emotions is a projection of you. It's a perception or a belief. And that resistance reveals what we get to work on and integrate. So again, you said it subtly. So it's not like, this doesn't sound like supercharged for you. Yours has a little bit more, just the way that you were reacting to it. So like you said, I want to be seen. That's a big part of who I am. I'm a generous person. So that's a mask. I want to be seen as a generous person, and I don't want to be seen as greedy. And there would be a bad version of the greed. So you're intellectualizing a little bit. Oh, well, if you do this, you could do that. That is good at some points. What's the bad version of greedy? And own that part of who you are. That would be the invitation that I would extend to you guys.
Okay.
How's mine's?
The bad part of greedy.
Yeah, isn't that what you don't want to be?
No, so this gets a little bit deeper into it. What you perceive to be greedy is unique to you. So what you think is greedy and what you think is greedy. Tell me if I was to be greedy in a bad way, what would I do?
You would be purposely taking in order to reduce or take away from other people.
Cool.
You'd be taking in order to take away from other people.
Cool. So that would be
disadvantage others.
So there'd be a way where you don't want to show that to the world.
Yeah.
So it's learning to love that part of you, because every human or parts of a human is lovable. It's learning to embrace that part of who you are. But then we have free choice. Some people, like I've had this one client and it was fucking hilarious. So trauma is a gift once you heal it. That's a belief that I have. Once you integrate it properly. And I've got processes that show you how to do that. And he's like, okay, if everything's all balanced and all this shit, can I just be the trauma fairy and go traumatize people for a fucking living? I'm like, but you probably go to jail, firstly. I said, there's social rules and laws that we have in place in society. But then you still have free choice. So again, there's a choice to be silly and there's a choice to be professional. But if you have resistance to being silly, that's the opportunity to grow. If you have resistance to being seen as greedy, that's the opportunity to grow. And then there's a choice to be generous. There's a choice to be greedy and put a zero at the end of your price tag for your next event. So the one that you're selling, 3x the price. Oh, if I do that, I'm greedy. Boom, there's some resistance. Let's integrate that. But then again, there's a choice to do that. Does that make sense?
So you're pitching at the next on Saturday, are you?
How do you go with sales? I'm curious. How does it show up in sales? Greed commonly comes up with money.
I'd say I'm able to connect to people on a level that is, I can build a relationship with somebody in like 2 minutes.
Nice.
That's just like my superpower.
Nice.
So I can build connection and I can build, I'd say because of my general knowledge.
Yep.
I can, as I said, like rugby league, I've just got like massive ties and it's like dig, found it.
Yeah, love it.
Connected.
Joint values, by the way. That's essentially find someone's values and connect on them, which is what you're doing, which is cool.
And that's my superpower.
Yeah.
So I'd say that helps me with sales. But the second like some of the objections come up, it's just like, oh, okay, no, so it's not for you. That's
because
fine.
if you were to push back, would you think you're being greedy by pushing back?
I wouldn't say I was greedy. I would just say, is there a reason for me to be pushing back? So this is something like with Campbell and myself, what we've been working on is if they say no, or they're putting it up for you, putting that wall up for you, if you let them go, they are worse off if they do not buy this from you.
Good sales. So it's like you've got the cure to cancer.
Yeah.
They have quote cancer, knock on wood. They have cancer. Would you be willing to sell them the cure to cancer? I got that from Cohen Ray back in the day. But yeah, okay. Just tune in. Wherever you have resistance to it, it will show up in your life. You'll have resistance around silly. You'll have resistance around greed. Just tune into where it is. And when you do a process and integrate that part of you, that trait or that behavior, the resistance goes away. And again, like Peter Craney says, you attract people and circumstances to reveal where you're not free. So you will have people, especially partners. This is where a lot of my content I do in relationships. Your relationships are the closest mirrors to you. Are you guys single? You got partners?
Yeah, that's my
I'm single, he's got a partner.
So you will have triggers show up within your relationship. And if you figure out and become conscious of, okay, what's the thing, the trait, the behavior that's triggering me, that I'm judging her for, or she's judging me for, I'm triggered by, that's an opportunity to heal. So it's constantly just figuring out where do you have resistance. And then you integrate that, the resistance goes away.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got into this conversation, but it's going.
So that's also relevant for the people at home as well, is because just find what your trigger is, and then show it to the world.
Yep. Integrate it. Show into it is like the exposure therapy. So that's maybe where we went to from my experience of like, how did I get better from the autism stuff? Is exposure therapy is one way. It's not always the best way to do that. Like if someone's like super traumatized and super dysregulated, it's not just throw them into the fire, which my dad did to me a little bit, but it's all good. It's about then integrating it. So I have a balancing process. That's my trauma process. So I would do a balancing process on these traits, and then the resistance to it goes away. And then again, you'll be less triggered by it because you'll judge others for being silly. You'll judge others when they're greedy.
I do.
When you see someone being a greedy bastard, you'll have judgment towards them and resistance towards them. So that's the resistance. You might have heard perception is a projection.
Yeah.
So we are projectors. Our entire life is a projection. So wherever you have resistance outside of fight or flight, that's a projection of you. Zoom into that, figure out what's the trait or the belief. It can be a belief, I'm not enough, I'm too much, no one loves me, there's a belief there. Find the belief, it's a belief, we dissolve it, do a process on it. If it's a perception, we do a balancing process on it to remove that resistance. Then you stop judging others, and then you stop judging yourself. That's essentially the process of self-growth is constantly recognizing where your resistance is, zooming in, finding the root cause to the resistance, addressing that root cause, resistance goes away. You've probably heard of the theory of constraints. Have you heard of this? I heard it through Alex Mosey.
I've heard of it. I haven't really.
It's mainly a business concept, but I use it for people as well. A business grows to its lowest constraint. So say your marketing's a 10 out of 10, really good at social media, content, whatever. Say your sales is a 10 out of 10. So Ryan Tuckwood would be really good at that. He's really good at sales. But say your product, the thing you were selling was shit. It's a dog shit shirt or service, whatever the thing is. It's a shit product. The product is the constraint. Say you deconstrain it, you make the product really good, the service goes up, your testimonials go up, your retention goes up, your churn goes down. The business grows until something else breaks. It might be customer fulfillment, it might be systems, processes, culture, whatever. Human beings grow to their lowest constraint. And that's where I come back to my model. It's either you're not living to your values, you're trying to be someone that you're not, and you're fucking beating yourself up, and your self-worth's fucking shit. You may have limiting beliefs. I'm not enough, I'm too much. You may have projections, which is what this conversation was, or you're lacking the skills. I just don't know how to market. I don't know how to make social media. I don't know how to film a podcast. I don't know how to interview people. I don't know the fucking skill. We identify the constraint, deconstrain the constraint, we go to the next one. That's essentially what I do for clients. It's like, who are you? Where are you going? What's your dream? What's your vision? And then what's stopping you from getting there? Is it a skill thing? Skills are easier though, because we've got ChatGPT. It's like, just ChatGPT the skill, it'll tell you what to do. Yeah. But if you don't have the psychology, because of your trauma and conditioning, that would stop you from doing it, that's a little bit more slipperier. So that's essentially, find your constraint, deconstrain it. See the eyes done.
He does the dance.
He does that. You do like the stare. You're like whoa, dude, whoa.
Like skill.
Yes. See, that's good. Be yourself, man. This is good. This is good stuff.
Yeah. So this is really cool because we're going, I mean, deeper in ourselves, but also deeper for everyone else as well. What was your reality like? And I really want to know how you came up with the values that you have, the goals that you have, because obviously that's come from, as you said at the very beginning of the podcast, it's like that's your authentic self. It's not a projection of anyone else that you've been able to work through. What was that process like for you, and how have you come up with the values and goals that you have?
What's the process of coming up with your values? Is that the question?
Yeah, and also overcoming the shadow work or whatever the projection we have.
Yeah, okay. So I learned, Dr. John Demartini is my number one mentor. He taught me a lot of this stuff. So he taught me values. He introduced me to values. So again, values are areas of life that fulfill you, not those traits. So again, you guys would probably say I value generosity and I value professionalism, because that's a compensation of trauma. So again, that's it. Anyways, we won't go back down that rabbit hole. So he taught me a lot of that stuff. He taught me values. He taught me about perceptions and how to integrate perceptions. So he's probably the one that awoken me to this level of depth of understanding reality and projections and perceptions and values and stuff like that. So I got introduced to him, 2025, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I saw him through Cohen Ray. Cohen, do you know Cohen? Do you know of Cohen?
He passed away.
Passed last year. So he changed my life. So I did his mastermind when I was 21. So I was like not the youngest in the room, but I would be close to the youngest in the room. Like we do a mastermind, and do you know what a mastermind is? It's like a table and you grill each other, essentially. So I'm like 21. I've got, I think, I got 2 gyms at this point, and I'm like this 21-year-old kid. There's people in their 50s, 60s, 70s doing hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm doing like $6,000 a week, like in this fucking shitty little gym. And Colonel, I was in his mastermind for 2.5 years. And he introduced me to this stuff. So he got me into John Demartini. He got me into spirituality, or just opened my eyes to it. He got me into psychedelics, legend. So that was about 5 years ago. I guess I got introduced to this world. How you find your values, it's just a set of questions. So there's just questions you go through and you ask. So what do you focus on? What do you spend money on? What do you like to talk about? And there'll be themes. There's 13 questions, and you'll find the themes within those questions. And if you're just conscious enough, you can find them. So if you just notice someone, what they talk about, what they're into, I'm going to assume you guys have a value around image or presentation or beauty or something like that, just from the way that you guys dress. Look what I'm wearing. Like, I don't have a high value on image. So I would assume there's something in there, unless you're just living to someone else's projections that I have to be professional in business.
That's him.
So
I wear a t-shirt and boardies.
Awesome.
But this is more, it looks a lot better, like again, image, but from a camera side.
Yeah.
Because of how long my actual, what's it called? Femur is.
Yep.
From a camera standpoint, he's got like hair and it like goes up.
Love it.
It doesn't look good.
I love it.
So it's like,
So you can become conscious to find the values. You go through a set of questions, but you get to a point where you can just pick up on them. So what do you like talking about? So how's your investments going? Wealth is probably a value for the person. How's business? You probably value business. How's your family? It's like you'll talk about, you'll be inspired by, you'll have energy for your values. The need for motivation is a symptom of an uninspired goal. I don't need motivation to coach. I love coaching. I've been coaching fucking since like 7 a.m. this morning. And look what we're doing here. I fucking coached you on the podcast. So it's like coaching fucking lights me up. You can feel my energy. Yeah. If you started talking to me, I have a low value on image. If you started to talk to me about like how to dress well, I get fucking fall asleep. It's like, I just don't care. You taught me about rugby league. I like games. That's in my values. I'll certainly get into that. So there's a set of questions you ask. It's free. I've got it in my book, and there's a book called The Values Factor. That's where I learned it from John DeMartini. And then perceptions and collapsing shadows. That's a huge rabbit hole, but learning his method, it's called his DeMartini method, and essentially how to balance perceptions. I'm a DeMartini facilitator. I got trained with him last year, about 12 months ago actually. But I've been in his world for about sort of 4 or 5 years. But then I like to integrate other tools into the one tool. So Bruce Lee has this awesome quote. He says, "There's no ultimate martial art, only the ultimate martial artist who knows every martial art and uses the right one at the right time to get the right result." So I use that for inner work, transformation. There's not one tool. You said NLP, so you're aware of NLP. Have you guys done NLP?
Not yet.
Not yet. Who are you going to do it with?
Pardon?
Do you know who you're going to do it with?
Not yet. We got mentors. They're gonna
Your
work
mentors,
it
they're
out.
like, you're not ready.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I did it when I was like 19. So you guys are good.
Well, the issue was that we're focusing on other things at the moment. We're ready for it. Like, we're gonna do it probably the end of this year.
Yeah,
It's
NLP is awesome.
I'm keen.
It's a fantastic tool. It's around language and beliefs and perceptions, and not too much perceptions, I should say. A lot of things I didn't use from it. So it's like, if you look up to the left, you're thinking about the past, or to the right, you think about the future. Like, I can't remember any of that shit. Chunking is good, so it learns about chunking. So if you say like, if you're trying to, Tony Robbins uses this example. If I've got a deck of cards and I've got the ace of spades in my head, if I just ask enough questions to you guys, I'll get you to say the ace of spades. I'll say, have you ever played cards before? So it's like big chunk. It's like, great. There's how many suits? 4 suits, right? Yes, there's 4 suits. What are the colors of the suits? And I'll just keep asking you questions to get you to say the answer. So it's like good for coaching. Ultimate martial art, I like to use DeMartini. So his main method is the foundation of my balancing process. And then I'll use other tools in it to have more of an emotional experience. I love John, favorite mentor I've ever worked with. And he's changed my life the absolute most. He's very intellectual. If you ever go for a laugh, just not even a laugh, for a learning experience as well, go to YouTube and just watch one of his videos. He's like the most intellectual human I've ever met, but he's so good at it. He's so good at his stuff, but very intellectual. It's like, it can create people who intellectualize and disassociate from their feelings.
Okay.
So it's like, it's such a phenomenal tool. And I'm like, I rave about John. I've sent heaps of people towards his work. It's just quite intellectual. So I like to use a little bit more emotional stuff. So I get people to feel their feelings, breathe into your heart. How's that feel like? Feel that right now. So I do a little bit more emotional stuff. But yeah, I got introduced to it mainly through John. But again, I pick up certain things from, I've done 9 certifications. I've done timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, DeMartini, NLP, breath work, holographics, which is a version of DeMartini. I've done negative emotional release techniques, which are more the emotional stuff. Trauma, there's a trauma and nervous system certification, and NLC, which was neuro-linguistic coaching, which was essentially NLP geared for coaching. Okay. So it's all about question asking and stuff like that. So I'll use the ultimate martial artist. I'm on the quest to become the ultimate martial artist with trauma. That's like, I want to. Anyone with any trauma, you come to me, I'll take care of it. And I'm pretty solid now, but I like to obviously add to those toolkits over time to get better and better, and then I'll weave them into each other as I use them.
I just thought of this really cool question. I've been waiting for the last 5 minutes.
Awesome, brother.
So you've been mentioning all these games.
Oh, games, yeah. Tell me, what do you play?
If you were to describe yourself in a certain game, what would it be and why?
Describe yourself as a game.
Like yourself, yeah. If you were to identify yourself to any particular game, what would it be and why?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
So
what game would I be
let's
in?
just say if you said the character I'm most like would be like Uno. Uno, because I'm always looking to be that last one standing.
That's a hard question.
Like,
what game am I most like? I was going to go character. I was going to say like Goku or something. But what game am I most like? That's a tough question. What game am I most like? It's a recent one. There's probably a confirmation bias because I'm just recency bias. It's called How Well Do You Know Your Friends? And it's a question asking game, and it asks like pretty deep probing questions. So it's like a therapy game. So I think that would be the game. Just because, it asks you some pretty deep questions. We keep them just below our TV. We just like have, this is not the game, but we also have decks of question asking cards. So they're just like, what's something that you're scared to tell the world? Like, it will just like go through and we then ask each other that shit. But the game, because it's technically a game, would be that one. How well do you know your family? It's quite funny too. If you do it with your family, your friends, it's quite funny. So you bring your shit out together. But never had that one. So Thank you for the question, brother.
All good. I just love games. I just wanted to know if there was any cool game.
What's your favourite game?
Figure it out.
What's your favourite game? Do you still play?
Oh yeah, I don't play video games, but I play a lot of board games. But
Nice,
a lot of
nice.
people don't play with me anymore because I always win.
Oh, mate, do you like Monopoly?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played the other day. Smoked Georgia. George is my wife. Absolutely smoked her. We go through like seasons. We go through Monopoly, the actual board game, and Monopoly Deal. We play that quite frequently. Yeah. We started a puzzle the other day and gave up. Like, this ain't gonna happen. Uno, we'd play a bit of Uno. We play Nintendo Switch, so we have Mario Kart. Okay. So if you ever play Mario Kart, love it. Yeah. Absolute big fan of Mario Kart. Mario Party's quite popular. We haven't played that in a while. But yeah, we sort of go through cycles of like, table tennis. We got table tennis at home. We smoke through that. That's very fun. You've got long limbs, actually. You probably can get over there. But yeah, mate, love games. Big fan.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, my favourite game would be the greatest game of all, Rugby League.
Rugby League. I downloaded. Did you play a new one? Did you download
the Rugby League Live 4?
Yeah.
No.
I struggle, man. I downloaded it. I've got it. I'm terrible at it. And I'm like that dick that goes to the hardest level. And if you can't beat it, just keep playing it. That's like, I won't drop down. I have to play the hardest one. But it's pretty good.
You're playing 2024 Penrith Panthers? Or?
Yeah, I was doing the Bronx, but yeah, I'd switch between those two. Play between those two. But yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, not very good at it, to be honest with you.
Keep practicing more. Keep playing more.
Yeah, dial in, eh?
That's cool. You said one of your goals was to coach 10,000 people.
Yeah, 10 million people.
Oh, 10 million.
I've coached 10,000.
Oh, okay,
that's goal is 10 million.
That was my next question. How many have you coached? How are you going to get there?
What does that process look like? That's a path. I think the path gets clearer as you walk down the path. So, my current goal was to run these events. So I want to impact people in a way that's most effective for them. So like I wrote a book last year because some people love books and they read books. And it's funny because I don't read many books. I listen to books. So I listen to audios and I do courses. Hence why I have a school program where I have my same tools in a school program. But then some people hate fucking technology and don't want to be behind screens. They want seminars and in-person events. So now I do in-person events. So yeah, it's going to be just an expansion of what I'm doing. So my audience is growing online. And then that feeds people into my podcast. That feeds people into school where they get, again, all the sort of course version of it. I run the events. I want to scale those events to more people. So we had 80 at the last one. And we've got one more in November 15th of this year. Then we've got one 3-day event. So over the 3-day event, that's where we go through everything. So we do values, purpose, mission, vision on day one. We do 8 regulation tools. So when it comes to inner work, there's regulation, what you do to stay regulated and in your window of tolerance. So if you get triggered, you don't integrate when you're triggered. You come back to balance before you integrate. We do 8 maintenance tools, and then we do the belief process and the balancing process. So we rewire a limiting belief, and I show them how to do it on themselves beyond the event. And then we do a balancing process. So we do a trauma process at the event. It's really, really cool. And then day 3, it's like skills, strategies, plan your life out, relationships, and money. Yeah. So events is one of them. I'd like to get to a Joe Dispenza level. He's like kind of my idol for events and retreats. Like he has like thousands and thousands of people at his retreats, and he sells out in 15 minutes. He's just like phenomenal. So that's inspiring. So that's definitely on the vision board. But I wanted to run events where I didn't have to run the events to get paid. It's so ironic. It sounds even bad for me saying it, because Kerwin used to teach key person risk. So essentially, it's like if a key person risk in business is if if one person leaves your business and it significantly hurts the business, it's key person risk. It's a risk with that person. But then Kerwin was key person risk in his business. So he was teaching this, but he was the key person risk. And then he got sick and then he actually passed away. So I didn't want to have an events business where I had to be there to run the event. What if I get sick? What if I just can't be fucked? Like, what if I'm like, I don't feel like running these events anymore? So it's like we're having a kid. So we've cancelled our events for the start of next year around the due date. So I just don't have to think about running events. So I wanted to build an online platform. That's where school is so good. So school pays me really well. And then I run the events because I'm inspired to run the events. Because they are fun. Like as much as I'm a nerd and I like technology and I like sitting behind a screen, I love people. I love meeting people, connecting with people, hugging people. So to answer your question, man, it's just expanding everything. So more people in the school community. I want thousands of people in there. More people are in the book. I think we've sold 5,000 copies so far. So I want to just keep selling copies. Events, scale it to sort of Joe Dispenza level. I do some private clients. That's not a big focus of mine, but I do enjoy a private client here and there. That's the mission, man. That's what we're doing.
No, I love it. That's epic.
Thank you.
Go. Walk me through this fatherhood time in your life.
Fatherhood.
What is that like? What are you doing to plan? How are you going to sit with the fact that everything's about to explode?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're gonna have to create structure around that.
Yeah,
that now.
good question, man. I like how conscious you are. You guys pay attention, then you build upon the questions, which is good. Mate, we do. Hot tip for anyone out there is to prevent yourself from burning out and to enjoy the journey more. Do a quarterly reset. Businesses do quarterly reviews. I recommend to my clients and to my close friends, family, do a quarterly reset where you redo values, purpose, mission, vision, and your master plan. Come back, values do change over time. So you want to make sure you're still prioritizing them. If you ever feel off or you're lacking self-worth, you're probably not living to your values. And a chance are values have changed. They do change over time. So me and Georgia, wife, went and did our most recent quarterly, also not our most recent one. This is before we started trying for kids. So this was, end of Q1 of this year. So Jan, Feb, March, not good with months. March-ish, around there. We get an Airbnb and we go away and we try to get one like as disconnected from the city as possible. So down in Byron, just like lots of nature around. We normally do a mushroom trip. So I did a mushroom trip again, big into psychedelics. And we then started to connect because we had discussed that like, this is the time period where we want to start consciously trying for kids. And it was this Airbnb. It's so good. It's like got an outdoor hot tub, so like a bath. So you just like having this epic like fucking bath out, and like cool wind, but it's hot as. It's so good. Yeah. And we just said, what's your fears? Like we started to just what's your fear about becoming a parent, becoming a mum, becoming a father? And we just started crying in the bath. We actually just like, holy shit, there's actually some shit here. Holy shit. And the thing for me was the chaos, because I love structure. I love to have this, and a kid is like the expression of chaos. It's the ultimate expression of it. So journeying that stuff and just being honest and looking within and seeing what's going to come up. I'm not a parent yet, but from what I've heard from all of my clients, the closest mirrors to you, I mentioned relationships are, and kids. So from what I've heard from all of my clients and anyone that's a parent, kids will trigger the absolute piss out of you. And again, good opportunity to integrate and to regulate and to all those things. So I'm excited for the emotional growth that it's going to come along for both me and Georgia. In terms of what we're learning, it's actually a big rabbit hole. It's huge. It's like the medical system, and I'm not going conspiracy on you guys, but the medical system it's insane. Like in terms of vaccines, in terms of like I think I saw a photo literally like yesterday. It's like, I think the number is like 76. I think that's the American number. But like from the moment they're born to like a couple of years old, it's like 70 vaccines. It's insane. Really? Like from when they're born, they want to jab them straight away with all this stuff. And I don't know the details, so I don't want to say what I'm saying. Just do your own research. It's a lot of vaccines. There's a lot of jabs. So we've been looking into that. What we want to do, we're doing a home birth. So essentially we have a midwife. We actually had a meeting with her on Tuesday. So 2 days ago, she comes over, second time meeting her. So getting prepared for that. How to parent, like, fuck, again, you don't get taught it. Hey, like, how do you hold a child? I mean, how do you like raise, it's like those funny memes. It's like, I've seen them on TikTok. They'll like get home from the hospital holding the baby and they look at each other like, now what? It's like, what do we do now? So we've been talking about it a lot. There's a great book. I'm rereading it right now. It's called Parenting Done Right from the Start from Dr. Vanessa Lapointe. She's really, really awesome. Okay. And she's a psychologist, but she focuses with child development. And her beliefs on triggers is so similar to mine. She uses different words, but it's the same stuff. She says, when you get triggered from your child, they're revealing the coding within you. She says the wiring or the coding or the beliefs. So again, it's the mirror, it's the projection part. So she says, look within and what's your child triggering within you. So I'm like, perfect. So super aligned with her views on that. Yeah. So something that stood out to me was until the age of, I think it's 4, until they start to develop it, and it doesn't fully develop till like sort of 10 or 12, is children before the age of, let's say, 4 years old, cannot emotionally regulate themselves. So if you go up to a 2-year-old who's crying and say, fucking calm down, stop being emotional, you're asking them to do something they can't do.
Interesting.
So you need to co-regulate with them. So that's where soothing, breathing together, and all that stuff. So I thought that was interesting, especially with my background, because I was such a dysregulated kid. So that's interesting. I think I'm rereading it right now. I read it about a year ago to sort of start to get ready for kids. She said one of the things that just stood out was the highest priority for parenting is the connection with the child. So no matter what happens, as long as you maintain a safe connection with each other, even if you get triggered, you have a moment, you fight, you disagree, you get upset, you get sick, whatever happens, is she uses that the 3-circle diagram, like one circle, then a bigger circle, then a bigger circle. So the middle circle is your safety zone. That's when your child feels safe to come to you and support you, and you look after them, you love them, you help them recover and all that stuff. You got the stretch zone, that's when they start to grow, they start to get outside into the real fucking world and learn things. And then you got the break zone, that's when they go too far. So no matter what happens, just always have that safe zone for them. So no matter what happens, if they make the wrong decision, they make a mistake, they fail, they just always feel enough connection to come back to you. That's probably some of my biggest lessons so far, but I'm sure it'll be a bit more real when she's here next year.
Oh yeah. What are you most? You said you're most excited for the personal development, but what is the most exciting thing about raising that family for you?
I think it's like that quote that I said before. You become who you needed when you're at your lowest. So I think just passing off hope. Again, I'm going to pass on some wounds because I'm a human, but it's like pass on wisdom, not wounds. So just teaching things that served me and in my journey that I didn't get told or get taught when I was younger, and hopefully pass those on, and it's received in a healthy way, and she enjoys it. So yeah, I guess I think coaching, because high school is coaching. So being able to just teach all the lessons that I wish I had, how to regulate, how to breathe together, how to know who you are, how to process things when heartbreak comes up and things come up, how to process that stuff. Because I think, and it sounds so hypocritical, I'm a hypocrite, that's a trait for me. So hypocritically, I think, because I'm not a parent yet, I think the greatest gift you can give a child is the awareness and the tools to do the work, to work on themselves. And that includes regulation, that includes processing, that includes self-awareness, just the awareness and tools to work on themselves. Because every single human has wounds, has triggers, has quote trauma, but not everyone is given the awareness and tools to work on it. So that's what I'm excited to pass on to the little one.
This is really exciting. This is like, we touched on this with Ryan very briefly, and from what I'm like hearing, it's very similar things where you're just like super excited to give back to the younger version of you what you wish you had when you were that age. So no, that's it.
Yep.
I had it.
You had it.
Now.
Where is it?
It's coming. Oh, hang on. It's coming.
Download it.
Got it. So you mentioned you're like you want to become the best trauma reliever in the world, or trauma coach. How do you describe it?
I guess transformation. So I use the term, I'm a purpose and transformation coach. So I'd say transformation would be the word.
Once you help people, let's say, unlock all their traumas or learn how to deal with them, do you believe that there's any period where you could end up being traumaless?
I don't believe you're ever fully healed. Okay. So I've never met a human with zero resistance. And are you guys? Are you guys never triggered ever?
I'm triggered all the time.
Yeah. So until I find this enlightened human, my belief won't change until I see evidence of it not being the truth. But I've never met a single human with zero resistance outside of survival, fight or flight. So there's just always more layers. They become more subtle though, 100%. The more healing you do, the less erratic and snappy and sabotage you become, but it's just more subtle. Perfect example. So remember, whenever you judge others, it's a projection of you. So I sold the last gym 2.5 years ago, and then I went from the owner to a client. So I sold it to a guy, but I kept training there, and I felt really weird because I'm the owner now. I'm fucking peasant. I'm the client now to own this thing anymore. And I'd go there and I'd go to train, and I'd notice I would walk into the gym, and there's people that I'm magnetized towards. Like I want to go talk to these people, hang out. But there's people that I intentionally walk away from. Like I'm just a little bit repelled. It's not like I'm fucking triggered. I want to go get aggressive or anything. But it's like, I just don't want to go sit next to that person. I don't want to go talk to that person. That's still resistance. So took some accountability and asked myself, what's the thing I dislike most about this person? Awkward. I judged myself for being awkward. I was a very awkward kid. I was autistic. I was weird, broken. And the guy was a nerd. Like, he looked like the definition of a nerd. And I'm like, I'm just projecting onto this guy. Thank you so it just becomes more subtle. So again, I've never met a single human who's fully healed. Show me this enlightened person when you find them. There's just more layers to go. So, yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
There you go. Ask your question. Is there anything that because you've been on many podcasts before, is there ever a question that you have that you'd wish someone asked you that no one has yet?
You guys sort of it's not like one particular question. It's just kind of the areas within it. And you guys have been dancing with it heaps. So I love transformation. I love trauma. I love purpose. I love relationships. Obviously, I'm starting to get ready for parenting. So that's starting to come into my values. So I'm scheduled time in to do my reset mid-December to get ready for start of next year. And I can already tell parenting's going to be in there. I'm noticing it. It's on my fucking TikTok. It's on my timeline. It's on my social medias. So yeah, back to your question is you've pretty much said everything within the topics that I'm into. There's no like sort of specific question that I like to. I've said I kind of have my go-to answers for things, and you guys have been within that area of stuff. So I like ask questions I've been asked before. That game question, never heard that one before, so that was good. No, you guys, nothing that comes to mind to answer your question.
Cool. All right. So, who in your network would you like to see on this podcast next? Who would you like to share your insights on the Future Leaders podcast?
What is it that you want from your guests? Because I've got a ton I can recommend. So I want to recommend the right people. Who is it? Any sort of archetype you're looking for, or type of story, or type of skills, or things that you're looking for? Is it like who's the most successful person I know?
Not necessarily. It's just who has a lot of value to deliver to those in our particular age bracket who are very lost and they're trying to figure out their path. They're working out what a life looks like to them, finding what success means to them.
Potentially to expand on that, like also training as well. I think is a key area. Like is there someone in your network that can help like the future leaders who are capable but they're directionless, they don't know where they're going, they know they're going to achieve something, but how can we help them achieve what they're after? And that's the training.
I've got a free training on YouTube. I would start there. So I've got a purpose process. So you find your purpose in the video. It's a really cool process. Your purpose is an expression of your core wound. So that's a big vein I like to talk about. In terms of people that embody that, Cody McAuliffe, you'd probably like him. He's very similar. He's very weird. So the weirder the better, right? So he's super autistic. So he's solid.
He's doing a training at the moment, eh?
Yep, speaker training. Yep, correct.
Yeah.
I was meant to be there. I'm not there. I was going to go tomorrow. I just can't bother. I got too much on. But yeah, he's doing a speaker training. So I'm in his mastermind at the moment. So he's solid. It's kind of like he's so good and not that well known. Like he's really deep. You've got to probe him a little bit, but once you get him going, he's really good. His whole network, I know that whole network in there. So Navdeep, if you want to fucking laugh, do you know him? Little Indian dude.
Oh yeah, we know Navdeep.
He's hilarious. I think he's the ultimate expression of the inner child.
Yeah.
You may have judged him for being silly. Actually, did you ever project on him for being silly? He won't take it personally, by the way. He understands.
No, we're good mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I used to judge him because it's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
So being awkward, being weird, because he's such a expression of inner child.
Yeah. I don't know if judge is the right word, but I respect it.
Okay.
I love the fact that he can go that far, because that's something that I don't have the ability to do yet.
So core wound, alignment with core wound.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that about him.
I love that. Yeah.
Love it. That whole circle is pretty solid. I've got a big Rolodex of people that would be keen to this stuff. I guess it depends what type of person you want. I got more businessy stuff. I got a ton of coaches. I know a ton of fucking coaches. Everyone on the Gold Coast is a coach, right? So I got a ton of coaches, ton of business people, some more well-known people, some less. Like Nat Patterson would be hilarious. She's funny if you know her. Light codes or light language, if you've seen her stuff around, she's hilarious. She's I'm kind of 10 out of 10 spiritual, 1 out of 10 is Hormozy. I'm a 3, so I'm more Hormozy than spiritual. She's an 11 out of 10 spiritual. So, but she's also got a business. She's making millions. She's doing really well.
Yeah.
So she's awesome. She'll talk about light codes and aliens and shit. So that'll be sick. But yeah, she got a pretty epic story. Yeah, I got heaps. So I'll just send you a fucking screenshot. There's heaps of people. I got heaps of people.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So for those looking at home, listening at home, where can they find you?
Social media, Lewis Huckstep. I'm most active on Instagram, but I'm on YouTube. I got 400 episodes of my own show there. I've got a book. I run events, but we're stopping at the end of November for 6 months. But yeah, social media, Instagram's probably your best shot at getting me. Or you can go to my school community where you get a free trial and you actually have a call with me. So that's, if you actually want to talk to me directly, that's the best shot.
Cool. Thanks so much, Lewis. It's been epic.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Lewis.
Lewis Huckstep, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.